So this is going to be, it's funny, it's kind of a divine nugget. I'm just, maybe I'm going to create a new series called, like, Wickedly Divine Wisdom or something like that. That'll be a little more advanced stuff, or maybe expands a little bit more on the divine nuggets. Who knows? We'll see. Let me know in the comments below if you would like that. Also, I keep meaning to do this, and I haven't been doing it. I've had like a Facebook group for like months and months and months for Wickedly Divine Feminine. I've not been promoting it, so I'd like to promote it if you want to come and join. And it's definitely a place you can come and feel not crazy and can ask questions and share things and whatnot. I did name it Wickedly Divine Feminine, but like for me, that's like, yes, I am wickedly divine feminine. However, I feel like everybody's wickedly divine. Everybody's, and if you identify as feminine, then you are wickedly divine feminine. And if you're masculine, then you could be wickedly divine masculine, like whatever you want to be. But it's where we can share things with each other. It's not a group that I lead. It's a group that I have, that I moderate, that I keep track of. Well, I'm trying to have the windows up because there was a loud piece of machinery behind me. I think it was some kind of lawnmower. But I guess we'll just go with the sounds that come in, and that'll be okay. In any case, yes, so the Wickedly Divine Feminine group. Also, I recently started a Wickedly Divine Feminine Instagram, please, and thank you for coming and joining the absurdity in all these different ways that we can play together. It's just fun, right? Just a bunch of silliness. That's been what's on my mind a lot lately, is that it's apart from that movie Finding Neverland, where the little boy is learning to have an imagination. It's just a bit of silliness, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today, is a little bit of silliness, and it has to do with what's called reframing. And I'm really been enjoying the Dance with Spirit lately because it's been finding unique ways to remind me of my own teachings and preachings and practicings in my own life. And something that I've thought about a fair amount lately, like I said, is reframing. And reframing, I got to thinking about it, and it was actually going to become a comment to someone else, and I thought, I'm going to let that person be where they are with the words they want to use, but that doesn't mean that there aren't plenty of you out there who are totally ready for this kind of thing. And what came into my mind was like, okay, the words that we use. If you think about your desires, the things that you want to manifest, whether that's either twin flame or a job or a hot girl summer or like whatever thing you want to manifest, think of that as the picture. It is a picture, and it has a frame around it. And so when you're manifesting something, or you want something, your heart wants something, things like that, that's the picture, your words are the frame. And sometimes we get ugly words as a frame, and there's something to be said if you intentionally choose a really like fugly frame to go around your pictures and you like that aesthetic. I'm not going to diss on that. That's totally great. I know people that do that. However, it must be beautiful to you, at least. So that's what I'm going to say. Like, you don't want any ugly frames around your pictures. You don't want ugly words around your manifestations. Now, because so many of us are delightfully intertwined in twin flame journey, I'm going to use that as an example, and you can just apply it. We'll do a couple examples where you can apply it in other places. But so, like, let's say, for example, the word ghosting. Now, I'm not saying there isn't a thing called ghosting, and I'm certainly not saying that if you are being ghosted that you should just make it okay. No. However, if you have decided that you're going to pay any attention to your twin flame journey, or to a relationship with somebody who has poor communication skills and is immature enough to do something like ghosting, then it's your task to get yourself into a frame of mind where you are not hurt by the things that they do, because your vibration, your emotions, your mindset are the most important things. They're the only things that you need to manage. And anytime that you feel triggered, anyways, by anything anybody, twin flame or not, does, that's a reflection of your vibration, of the frame around your picture, the frame around your manifestations, right? So if you're looking at a behavior coming from somebody and you feel like it's ghosting, which is like, say, you know someone for a reasonable amount of time and then suddenly they just stop talking. There's no communication, no contact. They haven't said goodbye, or they haven't said hello. They're not doing anything. They're leaving you on red, or not even on red. There's just nothing there. If they lived with you, they disappeared. If they, whether for a long time or a little, whatever way that appears to you. Now, the thing is, like, if you are sure that this is a person that you want to be connected with, and they're not just, they're not a karmic that's just there to help you learn self-love, which can be confusing because the twin flame journey is all about learning self-love. If you're sure that this is a person that you want to keep interacting with, then you've got to look between the lines, and you've got to find more pleasing frames to put around your manifestations. So when you call it ghosting, the problem is that then your heart goes squish and your brain goes ouch, because that feels like a self-worth thing. Because if you really are all that in a bag of chips, then why are you allowing somebody to treat you that way? And then also the other side of the squish is you kind of feel like maybe you deserve to be treated that way, or you don't deserve a better treatment. It just brings up all that. So I don't even want to go on talking about that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, no, like, you don't want to go back there. And you're going to have enough times you're going to end up there. I wanted to say originally, but that's not the right word. Like, you're naturally, almost like you're going to come around into cycles where you're up and down and things, and you're learning to rebuild your self-worth. Though the more conscious you can be of the words you think to yourself, and the words you write, the words you say out loud, the more you're able to shape and create just the right picture frame for the picture that you have in your heart. So if you want to be with somebody and they are in those states of immaturity, you want to reframe it to something like healing. They're not ghosting me. They're healing. Or they're healing me. You could even say it that way. They're healing me. They are. Because ghosting usually happens when we have a fear of abandonment that we need to face and heal, and we have challenges with self-worth. So if we're even in a state of mind where we can feel like we're being ghosted, that's our stuff to heal, right? And once you go and heal that stuff, and you've stripped away enough layers of ego, and trust me, that doesn't ever stop, but like, you stripped away enough layers that the old problem, you have a higher quality of new problems, right? Usually, most of the time, your mind is not going to be in this place of, oh, I got ghosted again. You won't even notice it. You'll be like, oh, they must be off doing some sort of healing where they don't need my assistance. and then you realize, well, they never needed your assistance, and you never needed theirs, but they don't want it in this moment. That's okay, because it's probably not something you really wanted to be involved in the first place, and you just feel better about it, right? Another example, it's great. It's looking like there's some relocation energy in my near future, and for a minute I wasn't calling it displacement, but I was talking about like my family being displaced because of the timing of things. But I was talking about it with a friend that I was talking about it like, I know this isn't a bad thing, but that's where my words were. It was like I'm not worried about this, we can move, and it's just a little displacement. And I'll turn around. Actually, it was Divine Maverick. I'm just gonna say that. Make sure to check out all her stuff: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Yes. But she just said, "Ooh, relocation energy, huh?" Or something along those lines, and I was like, oh, there it is. And I didn't even realize until like hours later. I went, isn't that like the perfect reframe? It was one of the times, because I had given that advice a lot last year, and even like I used to have fun doing that with my DM a lot. I wrote an ebook actually years and years and years ago. That it's funny, I didn't copyright it, didn't trademark it, so it's been used up. And it's not that my idea was necessarily original, but it was a change your vocab, change your life. And I know there had been similar things about it. And I'm actually like, I'm not worried about it because that was such an early thing for me. My grammar and syntax and everything were just horrible. And it was, I was going through an exercise of like, think of everything as the same as doing pancakes or grilled cheese sandwiches. You always burn the first couple of them, and then you get that sweet spot in the stove, and you know right where it is. So I was writing ebooks in that style of, I know I'm going to burn the first few anyway, so I'm just going to write them. And I've actually been thinking about taking something like this video and that book and like refining it. So we'll see where that goes. But like, to take something from like, oh, I've got to move, or oh no, I'm going to be there's a displacement going on, instead go, oh, wait a minute, this is relocation energy, and relocation is cool. It's like there's a little bit of anxiety in it because it's a, you know, there's newness to it, but it feels like an open horizon, an open frontier, rather than displacement. You know what I mean? The other thing, another common word that we use is like karmic. And I even admit, like, I've been one to do that too. It's part of how I saw it. Ooh, there's a bald eagle that's flying right over my car. See? Oh, now he's singing. So this is good stuff for those of you who are watching this. So with karmic, we tend to look at that. Oh, wow, there's two of them, and one just got a fish. So there you go. This is a good video for those of you who catch it whenever you catch it. Higher learning, I suppose, right? So karmic is often used negatively. We often use it as a colloquial term for somebody that we're not happy with, that is with somebody that we want to be with, and so on, right? The irony being that when we are using the term in that way, or with that feeling, we are in the karmic energy ourselves. And, you know, that doesn't negate, like, you could still have done a whole ton of healing, and I mean, you could definitely still be somebody's twin flame and also be in that karmic energy. And we use third party a lot of times the same way. And really, it dawned on me, like, you know, it's much better to reframe to words like teacher or visitor, right? Neutral. And that's a lot of what, like, Abraham and Eckhart and a lot of people talk about, you know, get to a neutral place. And really, I mean, that's kind of the divine way to do it. Like, karmic energy tends to, it doesn't always stay in karmic energy. A lot of people heal, but like karmic, see, this is me trying to provide the example of it, because like I said, I use karmic in an appropriate way too. So when we use it in that way, we bring our vibrations down. Whereas it's much more divine to say teacher, like my DM is with a teacher. You know, they are helping him learn so many things about himself and providing contrast and all sorts of different experiences that show him why me and what I see in him and what's the purpose of getting connected with spirit, you know, because like my DMs have lots of easy, good examples that he could have just listened to in the moment and gone for it, but that's not the kind of being he is. He likes to go the scenic route, you know, so he has teachers around him, and I am grateful for those teachers, even if I'm not always grateful for the way they go about it. You know what, I am, like, I think when you get to a point with reframing where your mind is naturally able to look at a situation that normally you go, oh, that's awful, and actually go, I wonder what that will mean in a week, or I wonder how that'll fit in with the greater puzzle of the whole spiral cycle, or I wonder what lesson this is teaching them, or what can I learn from this, or why is this triggering me? Like, why do I feel like I want to make a judgment or take an action or do a thing or pull back or move forward when this happens, you know? And that's all reframing too. Like, those are the pieces of the frame that we put around the picture of what we want to manifest. And you could do the same thing, you know, if you're trying to manifest a house or a new job or a business or a fun project or a friend or many friends or whatever you want to do. Think about the words that you use. You know, can't is a pretty popular one. I think I've done way earlier on videos last year where I just went through words in general that we really shouldn't have in our vocabulary very often. Like can't is often misused and misunderstood. Most of the time when you say I can't, what you mean is I won't. And you've given yourself a bunch of reasons that feel legitimate, though just practice taking it out and reframe it, because when you realize that it's not that you're incapable of it, it's that you're choosing not to do it, that's when you see where your boundaries are. And in your journey of learning self-love and appreciation, you're going to recognize that those are not things to be ashamed of, that you need to lie about, that you don't want to do them, you know. All right, I'm going to go ahead and leave this video here. If you'd like to hear more, you know where to comment below. Anyways, thanks for adding your vibes to the tribe, hitting that like button, and I'll see you in the next video.